Hi, Sonia here from Got Hair Color Salon. I just wanted to talk today about gray blending. What the heck is it? I know, it's crazy. So there's a lot of different options when it comes to gray blending. Basically, it's a generic term that we use to camouflage a gray and not get full coverage. So a lot of my clients are transitioning from full coverage or traditional color, which is done every like 4 weeks. They wanting to do something a little bit easier maintenance or at least not as noticeable when it grows out. So just know that this is why we go through consultations and we go over what is your like ultimate goal as far as maintenance. Are you wanting to cover your gray at all, or are you just wanting to blend into some color so there's actually like gray, peeking through along with like highlights? So you can see my gray in there, and then I have highlights as well. Or do you want it softly blended along with some kind of dimension? And a lot of this actually is dictated by what your natural distribution and placement of your gray is. So if you're very heavy in the front, but you're pretty, dark in the back, then it's not gonna make sense to try to give you highlights that are platinum to mimic, silver, and then try to make your black white, and then you just have a little bit in the front. And that's actually the biggest challenge that I have when I'm going through our consultations, is a lot of times people feel like they're so white in the front that they want to do it white all over. And that's not necessarily the best option, especially if you're wanting to keep it low maintenance. Because then you'll have the opposite problem where you're trying to highlight the dark to get light. And then of course, the more highlights or damage you have, then the more your hair is going to be receptive to minerals, which then turns brassy, which then turns, gold, and then it doesn't look silver anymore. So that's actually like the most high maintenance option. So there is a lot of options when it comes to gray blending. So I just want to encourage you, like, find someone who's a specialist, find someone who knows. There's people who do color, and then there's actual colorists. So make sure you find a colorist that knows the ins and outs of their color line, and then really kind of narrow down and don't get so focused on like, this is what I want and how I want you to execute, and instead come in with what, how much maintenance am I willing to do? Like, am I willing to stretch it now to 6 or 8 or 12 weeks? And then budget wise, what am I willing to spend on that visit? The longer you go, there's probably a little bit more cost involved. And that holds true for any color services. Also, if you're, are you wanting to completely grow out your gray and we're just transitioning you into that? Or are you wanting to still blend and keep some of your gray, but incorporate color alongside of that? So those are the main things. It's like, how often are you really wanting to maintain this? How much are you wanting to budget for that? And are you wanting to like completely grow it out? And so each one of those answers are gonna kind of dictate a path of what your options are. And so I just encourage you, get a consultation, make sure that the person that you're working with is a specialist in this area, and then make sure that you're just upfront with what you're trying to go for. And if you're not really sure, honestly, like, just be upfront about that. And then your stylist should be able to help guide you a little bit better of what your options are. So that way it's easier to backtrack versus sometimes, you go and do one thing and you're like, no, I don't want to do that. And then it's actually harder to back out of it. So usually when I'm working with my clients, we're always thinking several visits out. It's not just, what are we doing on this visit? And that's going to help us kind of get you to a place where you're the least frustrated in the transition and making sure that you're happy with your hair. So thanks again for watching this far. And if you have any questions, please drop them in the comments or direct message us. Schedule your consult. We'd love to help. We'd love to help. We'd love to answer any of those questions, and then just kind of help guide you to what's realistic as far as what you're wanting and we're actually getting you. So have a good day. Thanks a lot. Bye.